Welcome. Congratulations on purchasing this amazing meditation, which walks you through getting to know all the parts of you. Yes, we have a physical body, but we are so much more than that. Every experience we encounter in our lives brings us a sense of maybe fear or frustration or sadness or love or happiness, delight, joy. And whatever it is, somewhere within us, one or two or all of the different parts of us will be igniting, will be doing their job. And today, I'm prepared to help you walk through the different parts of you so that you become familiar with them and in turn begin to recognize which part of them may be acting in their role and actually becoming maybe potentially a little too powerful in your life. Each of these parts have so much significance in your being. And I'm really excited that you have made the bold choice to step forward and learn more. So good on you. Please know that all of my energy right now, all of the energy I get to work with, is heading right at you. So, just so you know, as we're beginning this meditation, I am creating a very strong intention that all who receive this meditation and move through it today receive Reiki from me. So, this entire meditation, I will be conducting Reiki energy throughout it, and I will be requesting different clearings, etc., to take place on those who have received this meditation. Now, this meditation was actually written or created by Genpo Roshi, and he's the creator of something called Big Mind. Now, I absolutely love this meditation, and I've added to it a wee bit more. So I'm hoping you will enjoy it. It is effectively a meditation to allow transcendence of all of the parts of self, and in turn becomes more whole and more connected as a result. So you become so much more connected when you have this awareness. So right now, what I'd love you to do is just find a comfy position, upright if possible. Today we engage with the unseen and potentially the unheard parts of you. With no judgment, I'd really like you to explore that. Have I really been listening to all the parts of me? I don't just mean the physical parts. Have I really been engaging with all of the parts of me? So today, as we meet with each part of you, please say out loud your responses. When I ask a question, yes, you might be alone in your room right now, but that's okay. I really want you to lock in your connection with what we're doing. So when I ask you a question, I really want you to say your parts or your responses out loud. So for example, I'm going to say to you that I'd like you to engage with a certain part of you, and that may be the protector. And when I say, so you are, I want you to say the protector back, okay? And then I want you to answer the questions that I'm asking. This is all part of this amazing experience. So I ask you now and invite you now to take a beautiful, slow, love-filled breath in. Noticing how beautiful your system is. And breathing out any concern, any fear you might have in this breath. Know that you are safe. And here you are. Allow your breath to rise and fall. Allow your breath to know and trust. Bring your attention into your head and relax it. Your jaw relax. Your shoulders relax. Your digestive system relax. Your spine relax. Your hips, pelvic bowl relax. Your thighs relax. Your knees relax. Your shins and calves relax. The tops of your feet and your toes relax. And the soles of your feet relax. A reminder to answer my questions. So today, everyone, we begin by asking to engage within with the protector. So find the protector. So you are the protector. That's right. So as a protector, it's your job to what? Protect. Good. Yes. But protect from what, protector? Yeah, yourself, others, danger, risk, ego, fear, anxiety, worry maybe. Protect from other people, negative things, negative experiences. Yes. And as the protector, is it your job to protect yourself from all others and from the self? Yes. And how much of the time, how much of your time, protector, are you protecting? Yes, all of the time. So the thing is, self doesn't mean to be a bit silly, but self can overeat in a meal and then turn around and say, hey, look, I'm never going to do that again. But as we know, we do it all again. We can sabotage ourselves. Protector will protect self from the self and from others. So who is it you are protecting from? Anyone, anything, even friends and family, workmates. It's the self's nearest and dearest that can definitely hurt self the most. We know that, right? And you, as a protector, can protect it from it all. So what is it you protect from, protector? Hurt, yeah. Emotional hurt, physical, spiritual, mental. So as the protector, how much of the time are you protecting? All of the time. And how much energy, protector, goes into protecting? That's right. All of it. You as the protector. Do you feel that the self appreciates how hard you're working? Yeah. Maybe self doesn't realize exactly how much work you do as the protector. This is how we begin to understand the parts of self, that they have different feelings to other parts or to self. And this can vary from moment to moment, situation to situation, and every part varies from one another. But hey, protector, if you don't protect, what might happen? You might get drained of energy, yeah? Get hurt, killed, lose yourself. So, protector, your job is an incredibly important job. And we just want to say thank you right now for all that you've done for the self, for all that you're doing for the self, and for all that you will do for self. You're doing an amazing job, protector. And just allow a gentle awareness to move into your system. Just a showing at this stage, just a witnessing of where protection might sit within your system. Where does protection sit? Just be curious. You're doing really good. So what I'd like you to do now is just let the protector rest aside for a moment while we go off and we investigate some other parts of self. So this is all going to become clear as we move through this process, why we're doing all of this. But for right now, what I ask you to do is pop protector down to the side, park him in a seat there to the side, and have a wee wiggle and let go of protector temporarily. After we meet each part, this is what we will be doing, having a wriggle, asking them to take a seat, and we'll come back together again shortly. Okay, so next, I'd like you to please find the controller. So you are the controller, yes. And as the controller, it's your job to what? Control. Control what? Yeah, me, other situations, others, items even, things, assets, life, the weather, relationships, yeah, energy. Other people's a big one, right? Good work. Now, as the controller, how often do you want to control? And how often do you control? Yes, all the time. Correct. And controller, how much energy, how much of your energy does it take to stay controlling? Absolutely, 100% of you. Everything you do in every waking moment is controlled. And what's your greatest fear, controller? Yep, not being in control, right? It's a thing. So controller is scared to not be in control, because if controller is not in control, then somebody or something else will be. And this means that controller is out of control, so the controller tries to control all of it to help keep controller safe. Does this make sense? And by controller controlling the situation, controller perceives that it keeps self safe. So we could actually say, right, that the controller actually works for the protector. So you as the controller, what is it that you want to control about self? Yeah, you're absolutely right. Family, health, safety, exercise, income, debts, bills, emotions, perceptions, opinions, happiness, sadness. How much of your energy, controller, let's remember, is going into controlling? That's right, 100%. How much of your time, controller, is going into this? Yeah, 100% of your time and energy as controller is going into controlling. Thank you, controller, for all that you've done for self in the past, right now, and everything that you will do. You do an amazing job, controller. An amazing job. So, controller, we ask you now just to go and take a seat as well. Thank you for what you contributed so far. Controller takes a seat, and I ask you to just have a little wriggle. That's right. Let go of controller and get ready for the next energy. And I ask you now to please find the skeptic. Yes, the skeptic. And you are? That's right, the skeptic. As the skeptic, it's your job to be, skeptical. That's right. But skeptical about what? Anything, everything, the government, the weather forecast, stories you're being told, situations you're placed in that might not feel right, other people, other people's intentions. Skeptical about how genuine something is, about people's motives, the ability to reach an enlightened state even. Is it even possible? Is it possible to earn all the money I want to earn? Skeptical to believe that we are in fact limitless. Maybe even in there somewhere, skeptical about being able to transcend all of this, or that there is a soul journey that we're on. But you know what? As the skeptic, it is your job to be skeptical, and it's totally okay. You've got to be skeptical about everything. On our spiritual journey, we need to be more skeptical than not, right? It's really important that we begin to broaden our skepticism. And I'm not saying in a negative way, I'm saying question everything. And ask, does this resonate with self? And if it doesn't, the skeptic is doing its job, people. Okay, this is important. Not everything is going to be right for everyone. And the skeptic's job here is to question, is this right for me? Is this the truth? Does this feel like it belongs here in my life in this moment? Now, this is a really powerful statement, and this actually came from another amazing healer here. And I learned this through her. As the skeptic, you are the part of self that can most easily take self through into a state of enlightenment. I read it again. As the skeptic, you are the part of the self that can most easily take self through into a state of enlightenment. Now, as the skeptic, you're probably quite skeptical about that statement. However, it is a true statement. You see, were you to be skeptical about every thought, every idea, every belief, every concept, you would not be attached to any particular framework of beliefs, and you would therefore be enlightened. It's okay, skeptic, to feel skeptical about that statement. Don't worry, it's okay. It means you're doing your job. But I'm going to definitely repeat that statement one more time. And in my experience, when I heard it again, it started to really sink in. And I want that to be really clear to the skeptic right now, okay? As the skeptic, you are the part of self that can most easily take the self through into a state of enlightenment. As the skeptic, you may be skeptical about that statement. However, it is a true statement. You see, were you to be skeptical about every thought, every idea and belief, any words that were presented to you, any actions that didn't feel right, every concept, you would not be attached to any particular framework of beliefs, and therefore, skeptic, you would be enlightened. So skeptic's role is actually incredibly powerful. So skeptic, how much of the time are you skeptical? Yeah, all of the time. And how much energy of your energy does it use to be skeptical? Of course, all of it. Let's just check this. Let's just check in here. Now, if we were to sit here a year from today and talk to the skeptic again, would you, skeptic, still be skeptical? This is a really amazing question because, of course, the answer is yes. Yes, because that, skeptic, is your role. That is your position and your job description. Your job is to be skeptical. Therefore, if you cease being skeptical about something, you will move on to be skeptical about the next thing. You will always be the skeptic in this story. I now ask you to thank the skeptic for all it has done in the past, the present, and anything it will do in the future, and ask the skeptic to go and take a seat. Beautiful. You're doing amazing, by the way. Now let go of the skeptic and let's have a wiggle in that chair again, wherever you're seated. Just have a wriggle. It's important for you to know that we're going to expand further on these with another series where we actually really spend time with each of these parts of us. And you're invited to join into that whenever you desire. This time we're going to find a part that doesn't have the greatest name, but it's a label, okay? It's just temporary so that you can identify with it, understand its separateness, and talk with it in turn, just like the others, okay? It's not the part's fault that it is in fact named this. So please find fear. So you are, that's right, fear. And as fear, it's your job to what? That's right, be fearful or afraid or scared or worried. You may have heard of the fight or flight mechanism. So all humans, animals, everyone has this, okay? When there is a perceived threat in the environment, adrenaline begins to pump through the body from the adrenals that sit behind our kidneys. Adrenaline makes our heart beat faster, so you get a real fast movement through the heart. The adrenaline opens up the arteries so that more oxygen can move to our major muscle groups, into our arms to fight an attacker, and into our legs to run away or to take flight. Fight or flight mechanism, all animals have it. It is an unconscious response. It happens, we don't think about it, we don't command our body to do it. Danger, heart races, blood to arms and legs, fight or flight, and alerts the protector. So as fear, you are in fact a physiological response, one that is hardwired into the body. Fear, how much of your time do you work fearfully? 100%, that's right. And how much of your energy, fear, goes into fear? Of course, 100%. Fear actually allows you to be vigilant, right? Because fear alerts the protector if there is danger, then the protector does the work or delegates to the controller, who then in fact controls self. So I ask you now to thank fear for all that it has done in the past, it is presently doing, and what it will do for you in the future. Have a wriggle. You're doing amazing. Can we please ask fear to go and take a seat with the other parts we've already spoken with? And this time, we're going to call in another one that's got a pretty different name, okay? I ask you now to find the victim. We've all got one of these, guys. So you are, that's right, the victim. And as the victim, it's your job to what? Yeah. Feel victimized, be victimized. That's right, play the victim. And of course, tell the story of what has happened. This is the story, in fact, of what has happened to the self. And the victim will tell the story to whomever will listen, honestly. It'll say it as many times as it needs to as many people as it needs to, whomever will listen. thing is, the victim has only ever has a positive intent. This is really true, right? The intention isn't to cause more damage, not to cause any trouble, not to hurt anybody, not to rack things up in any way. It just wants to be heard. It's actually telling its story to get love and kindness and recognition, or fairness for self. The victim always has a positive intention. Perhaps the victim may tell me the story, and if I don't pay attention, it perhaps seeps out of me, right? In a way that it goes out to others, i.e., verbally or even via body language. The victim uses self to speak to others and gather what it needs. And what does it need? It needs love and kindness and recognition. It just wants fairness. But sometimes the other parts of self don't actually like the victim telling its story. It can be a bit like that broken record type scenario, right? And can you feel that in you? Yeah. Remember here, the victim just wants fairness, justice, and perhaps recognition for self. The victim works 100% of the time being victim and uses 100% of its energy to do so. So victim, thank you. Thank you for all that you've done for self, all that you are doing for self in this now moment, and all that you will do for self in the future as long as self exists. Victim, please go and take a seat with the other parts. Know that you're welcomed on that seat. And let's have another little wiggle. Because this time, we're going to find the damaged self. So you are the damaged self, that's right. How do you feel as the damaged self? Yeah, damaged and broken, wounded, scarred, hurt, devastated, yeah. All things, right? You see, damaged self, you are in fact the part that has taken on all of the damage. All of the damage. You were the part that stood in the way of all the speeding arrows and bullets. You were the part that took all the hits on behalf of self. And in fact, it's because of you that all the other parts are still intact. So I actually consider you the truest hero of this story. Without you being so brave, damaged self, one of the other parts of the self would have taken a hit and been damaged. So if these parts that we're all talking to were employees of Corporation Self, then we could say that the job description of the damaged self was in fact to take on the damage. That is its role. Thank you so much, damaged self, for all that you've done before, all that you're doing even right now, and all that you will do in the future. You are the hero of this particular story. Thank you and congratulations. Now let's just check in. If we were to sit here a year from today and talk to the damaged self, would you still be taking on damage? Yes, of course. Because that's your role. That's absolutely right. It's your position, your job position, your job description. And you will always be the hero of this particular damaged self story, standing in the way of the bullets and the arrows. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Now, damaged self, do you sometimes feel that a part of damaged self doesn't actually like to be damaged? You ever get that feeling? Yeah. Yep. And hey, you know what? We're going to talk to that part next, okay? So, damned self, thank you so much for everything you've done, you're doing, and that you will do. And we ask you to be welcomed over to a seat while we talk to the next part. Have a wiggle in your chair. Now, please find the fixer. So, you are the fixer, yeah? And your job here is to what? That's right, fix. Fix what? Everyone, yeah, the self, everything, even others, maybe, family, political situations, maybe, peace on earth, challenging situations. Maybe fix what is you see as wrong in others. Yeah? As the fixer, 100% of your energy goes into fixing and 100% of your time. Will you ever stop fixing, fixer? No, you won't. Even if the world was perfect and there was peace on earth and we were using the resources of the earth in an equitable manner and evenly amongst people, would you, fixer, stop fixing? Nope, totally agree. You definitely wouldn't, because you love to fix and you're darn good at it. So we've already heard from the damaged self that the damaged self will always be damaged. Is that going to stop you as fixer from trying to fix the damaged self? No, it's not, is it? Because that's your job, right? There's that aha moment, right? This is the moment where you go, wait a second. All of these parts of me have purpose. Within the self, we always have the damaged self that will always be damaged. We always have the fixer that will always work to fix. And that is just the way it is. There is a spaciousness within self that allows both of these parts to equitably exist and to do what they are required to do. It is not one at the expense of the other. They work, they are, and they have purpose. Let that sit with you. So fixer, thank you so much for all that you do for the self, for all that you've done and all that you will do for the self in the time ahead that exists for self. You're doing so well. Have a wriggle. Okay, the next one that we're going to connect with has a much longer name, okay? There's a reason for that. So I ask you now to find the pure child, perfect as day one, before any of the stories and before any of the damage. So you are looking for the pure child, perfect as day one, before any of the stories and before any of the damage. For the rest of the session, I'll refer to this as pure child, but always acknowledge as we call it that we ask for pure as day one, before any of the stories and before any of the damage. So you are pure child. I want you to say it again and really notice how it feels to say this. You are. How do you feel as the pure child? Yeah. Light and content. Pure. Yep. Free. Open and relaxed. Loved and loving. Trusting. Safe. So now I'm going to use some words to make sure that you have definitely found the pure child, okay? And these words are this: looking for the pure child, perfect as day one, before any of the stories, before any of the damage. This may be a very young child, it may be a toddler, maybe a baby, may in fact be the fetus in the womb, but you are looking, please, for the pure child, perfect as day one, before any of the stories and any damage. Pure, pristine, untouched, undamaged, open, light and radiant, spontaneous, joyful, free, immaculate. You see, this is the self that the other voices of self thought needed protecting. The pure child, perfect as day one, before any of the stories and before any of the damage. You can see why the other parts felt it was vital to protect. They perceived that the openness of this pure child was vulnerable. So what has happened within you, by you, is the other voices created what I'm now going to call the lower self, okay? All the other voices until now form up the lower self. So all of those other voices until now formed what is termed as the lower self, right? Protector, controller, fear, the others, they were all created within you, by you, with the intention to keep pure child pure. And it worked. It worked. Because here you are, pure child. You are perfect as day one, before any of the stories and before any damage. What a beautiful place. No matter what has happened to you in the past, you are okay, pure child. And therefore, no matter what happens in the future, you can always find your pure child and find comfort. So then perhaps you also realize that, hey, if I can find this in me, then others can definitely find that in them. And just to share a little personal story, that is exactly what happened for me. I know I've been in healing work for a long time, but this moment for me was the moment I went, wait a second. And now everything I work toward is about keeping pure child perfect as day one. Feeling that energy of perfect as day one before any stories, before any damage, and engaging with that. No matter how hard things can be, we can all find pure child and live in this energy. And here I am sharing this with you because I now know that this is possible. And we want to take this out, right, to humanity. You are pure child. You are here. This is you. Welcome home. So if you're feeling light and clear and your head is less chatty, you are definitely glimpsing this pure child state, okay? As we allow ourselves to experience pure child, we start to realize that whatever has happened, we are still pure child. And we also start to realize that what has happened is the other aspects of self perceived that its openness meant it was vulnerable. And so, because they perceived it was vulnerable, they set out to protect it. The other voices worked super hard and created the lower self, creator, controller, fear, victim, all parts of this lower self that was developed in you by you to keep this pure child pure. And it worked. Here's a question. Has this pure child been affected by anything that has happened to you up until now? No. You're right. Because if none of this is affected, it means that nothing in the future is going to affect you either, okay? Because you are a pure child, perfect as day one, before all of the stories and any of the damage. Nothing in the future is going to affect you. You will always be able to access this. So accessing pure child in every meditation going forward, look, I really recommend it, okay? Remember this feeling, really lock it in, feel it in your heart. Receive charge from pure child. Feel lighter and cleaner and energized. I can tell you, for me, this has truly, truly worked. Transcend the mind and sit with pure child. And the chatter of the mind just disappears. Sit in openness, pureness, light, in energy, and perfection. And the more time we access pure child, the more that this energy will work in our bodies. It will assist us to be more youthful, to feel more youthful, assist our internal organs, our digestion will be more relaxed, our breathing is more relaxed. The more time we spend in pure child, the more feelings of joy and light and radiance and ease will benefit first our physical body. I can also vouch for that. And then rippling into the room, into our families, into our homes, into our relationships, into our workplaces, into our environment, into our cities and towns, our regions, our country, the world. Perhaps make this pure child state the minimum state to achieve when you meditate. And one of the things that can happen is the ego can feel very worried about connecting with pure child, especially if there's been pain linked in some way to the pure child. So the ego may stop you going there, okay? Now, if this has happened for you, please don't be concerned, don't worry. Because whether or not you have accessed pure child this time, we can still keep moving through. It won't stop you from going into the enlightened state. The ego now gets to see the whole process, and next time round, usually the ego will stand aside and allow you to experience pure child. You're doing amazing, okay? I want you to wriggle again, please. And this time, we're going to ask the voice of desire to step forward. Find the voice of desire. And you are? Yeah. Desire, what is it your job to do? Desire, yeah. What do you desire? Everything, that's right. And when do you want it, desire? Right now. This particular aspect of self actually gets a bit of a rap, right? Gets picked on a bit because this surfaces the want in us. So actually, desire's job is really to want. And what do we want? We want everything, right? Jobs, money, clothes, great relationships, friendships, enlightenment, peace on earth, connection, money rolling in at us, happiness, freedom. So the nature of desire is to consistently and continually want. All of the parts of self we're connected to today, I have to say that desire has probably got the worst rap. If you look into the religious texts and scriptures, okay, there may be conditioning within you around being rich, because rich means you've desired money or assets, And by having lots of money, potentially riches equals desire, which equals selfishness, which equals being a bad person. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to bring consciousness into this right now, okay? Do we know in this world good people that are rich? Of course we do. So let's ask this. Do we also know good people that are poor? Of course we do. The Dalai Lama is not poor. John of God is not poor. There are poor lower vibrations. There are rich lower vibrations. There are rich high vibrations. There are poor high vibrations. Rich people can also do amazing things in this world. So can poor people. Perhaps they actually desired richness so that they could do good things in the world. So religions, some may say that the cause of all suffering is in fact desire. That means if I want that well-paying job and I get it, I'm going to suffer. If I want those lotto winnings and I get them, I'm going to suffer. If I fall in love with a man who's already married and I feel the love I've always desired, I'm going to suffer. Would you be right here, right now, without desire? No. Would you have quality of life without some desire? Would you have the health, the relationships that you have, the home you have without desire? Where in fact would humanity be without some desire? You have no shelter, no food, no connection. The nature of desire is actually to consistently want. So desire keeps us moving in a circle, okay? We desire more peace, we achieve it, and then we focus on the next thing. We're continually working in a circle of desire. Desire it, receive it, keep seeking. Perhaps desire isn't actually all that bad if we don't suppress our desire and we find the middle way. Now I'm going to ask you to have a little wriggle in your chair, and we're going to meet the next part of us that actually helps us with that middle way, achievement and desire, okay? So I ask you now to find the seeking mind, and you are the seeking mind, yes. And as the seeking mind, it is your job to seek. Correct. Seek what? Yeah, answers, truth, worldly goods, information, wisdom, enlightenment, true love, true happiness. Mr. Right, Mrs. Right. How much of the time are you seeking? How much of the time are you seeking mind? Yes, that's right, all of it. And you're using all of your energy, in fact, to do that. And will you ever stop seeking mind? Nope, because that's your job description. You are looking for anything that will give this self purpose and meaning and direction. You look down your nose at the voice of desire and consider some of the things it wants, like a new car or a chocolate ice cream or continued flowing income, as base and trivial. So the seeking mind is where the self, in fact, finds discernment. And this is where you will find discernment. We are constantly seeking. Again, that circle. Constantly looking. 100% of our energy, 100% of our time. Constantly seeking. So the thing is, whatever it is we're seeking, right, as soon as we find the insight on it, we move to the next thing, right? Because we've done our seeking, and then we hand it over to someone else, and then we go back and we start seeking something else. Now I ask you to ask the seeking mind to go and join all the others we've spoken to so far. I think they know the drill now. Take a seat. Release seeking mind and make space for the seeker of the way. So you are the seeker of the way. Now notice that you are in fact the seeker of the way, not the finder of the way. As the seeker of the way, you have two very special gifts for self. Very. One, as the seeker of the way, you know that the way exists. Now really feel that in your system. As the seeker of the way, you know that the way exists. Yeah. And you're an expert tracker. So you can spot footprints in the grass, the subtlest of senses and energy, the no entry signs, which are in fact the wrong path. You are the seeker of the way. You know the way exists, a unique way, unique for your soul and your body. You've got this great little inbuilt system that makes you like the Bear Grylls of the community, spiritual community. When I did my meditation work running through this, and the Bear Grylls of the spiritual community was mentioned, I found that exceptional. So I'm sharing that with you because I've learned from a wonderful person, and my intention is to bring this to you. So you are the Bear Grylls of the spiritual community, seeker of the way, and you spot the signs. So seeker of the way, I've got a big request for you, and this comes from the heart. Please never allow yourself to be distracted, ignored. Never allow yourself to be overtalked by the other voices of self. Do what you were designed to do and continue to seek the way. Self relies on you. And now, seeker of the way, go and seek your way to your seat, please, with the others whilst we continue our journey of learning. So if you would like, have a stretch and have a move. And we are now looking for the follower of the way. All right? The follower of the way. Please find the follower of the way. We have met seeking mind. We've met the seeker of the way. And now we are talking to the follower of the way. So you are, that's right. And as the follower of the way, you also have two super gifts. You already know the way exists. Yep. Pretty smart, huh? And number two, you are where the self finds discipline, devotion, and dedication. You see, the seeker of the way is going to find the signs. And as the follower of the way, you're going to just put one foot in front of the other and get there. How awesome is that? Pretty clever, right? So this is where we find the discipline, the dedication for meditation from here on in. This is going to be your support mechanism for committing to the way, your way. Your way. Nobody else knows your way like you know your way. This helps you commit to who you truly are. Okay, seeker of the way. Please, one sit to the side whilst we keep learning. Follower of the way, we've asked you to do the same now, please. Now I'd like you to please find a beautiful flow of energy up and down your spine. Motion, movement, flow, up and down the spine. And please find the way. And as the way, how do you feel? You are the way. Yeah, expanded, yes. Easeful, present, yep, strong. So you are now beginning to move into a transcendental state. Feel the energy that is coming to you right now. You are the way. It means you are now beyond the thinking mind. And in order for us to experience this transcendental state more fully, we're going to use a different label, okay? Can I ask you now just to turn your palms upward? So this is about receiving, okay? And I'd like you to find big mind. So you are big mind. And how do you feel as big mind? Yeah, big, expansive, vast, right? How big? What are you feeling in there? You feel big, you feel vast. Big mind, is there any limitation or boundary here? No, you're in fact limitless, right? You are infinite. That's right. You are so infinite that anything smaller than you will not comprehend how infinite you are. You are so infinite and expansive that anything below you cannot truly comprehend. Just, I guess, like for those who connect in with God, we know God understands us, but we don't necessarily understand God in God's entirety. So you are in big mind, unlimited, no boundary, vast. Yet you can still feel, you can still think. Your brain can still make sense of the sounds that are coming out of my face, the music that's playing. But you are limitless. And in order that the thinking mind can understand big mind better, we need to explore big mind more. And the self is coming along on this journey, okay? So let's explore big mind, have a little wiggle. And then please find big heart. Okay, so you are big heart, yeah. Now, big heart, how do you feel as big heart? Yeah, vast and limitless. That's right, there's no boundary. You just feel this love, you feel this compassion, this lightness, this ceilingless sensation. Big mind and big heart are really similar, right? Strictly speaking, big mind does contain big heart, yet both are unlimited, vast, limitlessly expansive. There are no boundaries. The core difference right now is that you're probably holding your awareness in your heart center in the middle of your chest. And not so much in your head. Just feel the beauty of big heart, and that it has opened up feelings for you of love and compassion. All the love you've ever felt, it's here. Functioning every day in this space changes everything. The practice I work in, doing Reiki and craniosacral therapy, spiritual healing, spiritual surgeries. When I work from this place and I keep my intention in this place of big heart, amazing ease comes to the healings and to the person whom is choosing the healing. We're going to go deeper into big heart now, okay? Because there's some parts of big heart that we like to identify with, and it's important. I'd like you now to please find yin feminine, compassionate big heart. Allow yourself within you to find yin feminine, compassionate big heart. Beautiful. Beautiful. How do you feel as yin feminine, compassionate big heart? Yeah. Beautiful. Yes. Loving. Yep, kind and generous, limitless, radiant, yeah, exquisite, yin feminine, compassionate big heart, allowing, forgiving, unconditional love, unconditional love, allowing, forgiving, unconditional love. That tender, tender energy, yin feminine, compassionate big heart. Isn't it just absolutely beautiful? And when you're in this place, you can think of those that you love. You might want to call in some angelic feminine inspiration. Mary, Mary Magdalene, Mother Teresa, whatever and whoever embodies this yin feminine compassionate big heart for you, you are welcome to bring them in. And in your heart center, you cannot be in fear. Fear, in fact, only exists in your head. And I want you to keep your awareness in your heart, just in your heart, stay in your heart. Yin feminine, compassionate big heart. Just notice how this feels. Really breathe it in and breathe it out. Expansive and alive. Let it move through you. Beautiful. The thing is, you don't need to go out and find this love, okay? It's already here within you. It's who you are. It's, in fact, who we all are. Think of yourself as a flower unfolding and unfurling its petals in the sunlight. Yin, feminine, compassionate, big heart. Beautiful. I know it's hard to leave this. I'm just going to set this beautiful, compassionate, big heart, feminine energy aside. And I'd like you, please, now to find within you its balance. Yang, masculine, compassionate, big heart. Yang, masculine, compassionate, big heart. So you are Yang, masculine, compassionate, big heart. And as Yang, masculine, compassionate, big heart, how do you feel? Yeah, strong, that's right, resistant, empowered, protective and powerful. So we all have this within us. We have a male or female form. But we all have divine feminine, divine masculine energy. It's important we understand this. We have yin, we have yang. Divine masculine energy, and we're going to do more work on this through different programs that I run, but divine masculine energy is excellent for setting boundaries. This is the yang masculine, compassionate, big heart energy, strong and protective. It's still so loving. It's gentle. It's kind. And it's protecting. And it's strong. Yang masculine, compassionate, big heart. In your journey, in your lifetime so far, you will have learned to use one of these energies more than the other. And in fact, we can kind of flip-flop between them situationally. Just observe right now what it is in you. Whether you're more drawn right now towards the yin feminine or the yang masculine. There's no right, there's no wrong, okay? Just feel. Allow yourself to feel that strong, protective, powerful masculine energy. And if you wish, you can call in some angelic masculine energies right now. It may be that you call in the energy of Buddha, Jesus, whatever it is, St. Michael, just call it in. Really let yourself feel this energy. Yin, masculine, compassionate, big heart. You see, we need both. We need both the yin and the yang, compassionate, big heart. We need to be gentle and we need to be strong. I would like you to bring your hands together like the yin-yang. Fingertips to palm, fingertips to palm. Like the brain in two halves, sorry. The left brain is logical and analytical. Through our nervous system, it's wired to the right-hand side of our body. Right? And the left-hand side we're going to bring that forward. That's dealing with intuition, less concrete aspects of reality like love and space. Bringing these two together. Right hand side of the brain with left hand physical wiring. Left hand, right hand wiring. Bring these together with a gentle touch, left on top of right. We intend now to find within us, as we hold this collective space, yin-yang. Find within you, integrated yin-yang, compassionate, big heart. Integrated yin-yang, compassionate, big heart. Look at the beauty you hold. The more yin feminine feels safe because it is now held and protected. And as she feels safer and protected, the softer she becomes. And for yang masculine, with the feminine aspect, he feels the approval of yin feminine and stronger yang masculine becomes. Some of you may in fact feel the yin yang in your system. You may feel it like the black and white, like the symbol. The yin yang symbol is to show that the movement of two working mechanisms blending together. We need both, right? So we have yin feminine and yang masculine, compassionate, big hearts integrated. This is integrated yin yang, compassionate, big heart. Feel its balance. Allow the balance and appreciate the balance. You're doing amazing. And it's time now to set aside yin yang to continue to process balance whilst we call in. In fact, we call in now the master. So, you are the master. You can also refer to the master as higher self. So let's going forward, let's just say the master higher self, okay? So you are the master higher self, yes. As the master higher self, how does it feel to be you? How does it really feel? Yeah, big, powerful. You might feel really in control. As the master higher self, we're going to invite in all the different aspects of self that we've talked to so far, okay? You are the master, the higher self. And you need to invite them in yourself, okay? So I just want you to repeat these words after me. As sitting as the master or higher self, we invite in the protector. Come on in, protector, meet the master. And as the protector comes in to meet the master, notice the sense of relief here, right? Oh, thank goodness. Protector's up off the seat. He's coming, walking towards the master and says, oh, thank goodness someone's in charge. Protector has been so busy for so long, working so hard at 100%. Now Protector sees there is somebody in charge. Next one, let's call in the controller. Controller, come on up off your seat. Come and meet the master of the higher self. Controller has been working so hard with the protector to keep the self safe. And now controller gets to meet the big boss, the higher self master. Amazing. They all seem a bit in awe, don't they? Okay, skeptic, come on up off your seat. Come on, fear, up off your seat. Come and meet the master higher self. The skeptic, obviously being skeptical, is probably not sure that the master is in fact real. But the master is a real master, and the skeptic is only doing its job. Remember this, only doing its job, doing what it's designed to do. So the master just embraces the skeptic and embraces fear. Come on up, come on, fear. Come give the master a hug. Hug that higher self. The fear needs to stay present and alert, and knows its job is still to protect, hold that fearful state, and let the protector know if there's any danger. But now the protector can alert the master if there's danger. This is even better. Oh, the victim, come on up and meet the master. The victim has now finally got someone else to tell her story to. It's great. The master, of course, is going to appreciate immediately when the victim starts telling its story that the victim only has good intention, and will look to see what action can be taken to assist the victim. How beautiful is that? The master, the higher self, welcoming in the victim. And we're going to ask damaged self to follow right along behind. Come on in, damaged self. A hero's welcome. Well done, damaged self. You've done, honestly, an incredible job so far for so long. Standing in the front of all of these bullets. A hero's welcome to you. Well done. Much praise, much gratitude. Namaste. And let's welcome in the fixer. Come on in, the fixer, meet the master higher self. The fixer, being the fixer, is already looking for something to fix, and the master just looks on, seeing the beauty in it. Pure child, it's time to come home. Come and meet the master higher self. This is a special moment. Pure child is just doing flips and cartwheels full of excitement. Coming home, here you are. Welcome home, pure child. Now call in the voice of desire to come on up and meet the Master Higher Self, the seeking mind to come to. Let's bring these guys up. Welcome home. Desire has always wanted to meet the Master, and now it can move on to its next mission. The seeking mind is bringing with it the seeker of the way and the follower of the way. Come on, guys, come in and meet the Master. Seeking mind, seeker of the way and follower of the way. Meet the Master Higher Self. And I now ask you to integrate all of these things within the Master. Notice the connection, notice the ignition that takes place here. And how does it feel? Master Higher Self, how does it now feel to be fully integrated? Powerful, right? Calm, clear, full yet empty. Stay with the Master right now, okay? Stay with the Higher Self. I want you to now look at that little human life that you have. This tiny human life that you have. What is the one thing that you need to start doing today? Now that you have such broad, expanded perception, what is the one thing you must start doing today? And what is the one thing that you must stop doing today? You see, it's now time to let the Master, the Higher Self, guide the human. It is now time to let the Higher Self, the Master, guide the human. As lovely as it would feel for you to just go out into the world right now in this Master Higher Self state, it's not quite how we're going to do it, okay? I want you now to find a little bit of middle road. I want you to find within you now the day-to-day operator. Integrated, free-functioning human being. Integrated, free-functioning human being. So you are the integrated, free-functioning human being. Correct. And how does it feel to be the integrated, free-functioning human being? Free. Yes. Integrated, balanced, calm, peaceful, happy, definitely. Connected, yeah? Safe. And as the integrated, free-functioning human being, I ask you to look at your life before this meditation. What does that human having that life need to do more of? And what does that human having that life need to do less of? Looking ahead, what does that human need to do more of? And what does that human need to do less of? This is the gift of guidance. So powerful. So guys, we've come to the end. Don't open your eyes yet, okay? I want you now to very carefully position yourself that you are facing up to the ceiling. Keeping your eyes closed. Still staying really connected with that integrated, free, functioning human being. And I'm going to ask you to now slowly open your eyes and notice the space. Just notice the space. Don't look around. Just notice the space above you in the ceiling. Your whole life, you have been conditioned to notice things. The ceiling, furniture, trees, people, what people have, cars, houses. Become aware more of the space. It's the space that in fact allows all things to exist, yeah? Without space, there would be no things. Let your gaze gently shift now and allow yourself to see things and the space around those things. There is a reason we're doing this. You will feel better in your head. You will feel expanded there. And that is actually the whole point. Yes, there's existence of things, but there too is existence of space. And from here on in, hear and see the space. In your thoughts, be aware of the space between your thoughts. In your body, be aware of the space around and in your body and around the feelings of your body and the space around your feelings. And as we bring this connection time to a close, I remind you of how beautiful every part of you is, and how this human life is so much greater when we see and hear the space. I send you so much love. I wish you so much peace, and I wish for you to spiritually ignite as you choose. I would dearly love to be the person to support you in doing that. Please do reach out. I can let you know what my programs are. But what I ask of you in this now moment is to stay in and recognize every this now moment possible. Every this now moment. You are beautiful. You are blessed. And you are welcome here. Every part of you. Go well. I send you much love and thank you so much for joining me in what I believe is one of the most beautiful meditations in self-connection, prepared and created by Genpo Roshi. Thank you so much. Much love. Kia kite.